Another down on horsepower is American Justin Boyce. Back home in Oregon with help from Sunset Engine Development, Justin has a massive 1,200 horsepower at his disposal, thanks to Garrett turbos and Lee Performance injection in a specially modified Eagle hull from his own Boyce Marine. At more than 200 kilometres per hour, it's easily the fastest jet boat in the world today.
We thought that for this year it would be wiser just to take a proven, setup here in New Zealand. So we shipped one of our good, dependable motors over, and we're running the Hamilton, 182 boat. And we're kind of wishing now we had our tunnel. The braids are tough, but we think we can probably handle them. But this year will be good. This boat's much more forgiving. We're going to try and charge up the braids and learn a little something, be competitive. But this is just practice for years to come.
And if the lack of power isn't bad enough, he's also got the weight of an extra crewman.
We're giving a little speed there, but I've got a good crewman, Ron Crook, who's been with me for 3 years now. And I wanted to get a New Zealander in the boat with me. I've been friends with Ian Armstrong, who's our pointer. We didn't really feel right. It was bumping Ron out of the boat, so we threw the third seat in for him. And we're just going to have some fun, be consistent.
36 minutes after the flag drops, Jeff Laird's orange Burning Desire hits Pipariki 90 kilometres from the start. At speeds in excess of 170 kilometres an hour, it's hardly surprising he sets a new record for the upstream leg and in the process wins the Perpetual Challenge trophy, presented by the local Pipariki Maori community.
Presenters, I'd like to say, wish you all the best.
Thank you.
The downstream drag to Wanganui proves fatal for South Sea steamship. Tony Ward's turboed 302 Chev fails again and he can't be restarted, forced out early to spectate.
We were the fifth boat away from the top of Pipariki, got geared up, jumped in the boat, went to start it, and a brand new battery was dead flat. I just couldn't believe it. So anyway, we got a jump start from another boat and got our time going good and took off. But of course we still had the little carburetor problem. And we got to a pretty good left-hand corner. And once again the engine quit, but we had no battery, we couldn't start. So we had to wait for a patrol boat and we ended up losing about an hour the first day.
And spectate he did as veterans John Butterfield and Peter Phillips arrive on the scene soon after. There's nothing wrong with their engine, they just can't decide which way to go.
And looking down the left side, we saw a patrol boat plus another boat. We thought maybe he's in trouble down there, so we looked to go to the right. And when we looked to the right, there was quite a nasty weir there, about a 2 or 3 or 4 foot drop. And we decided to turn round, and as we started to turn, I said to John, there's a couple of deer up in there. John, look at those. And he said, oh, is there? And he looked up. And we never completed the turn, you see, and we ended up the bank. And that's what actually happened. So that was it. We were stuck up the bank at about 45-degree angle, which was a bit awkward. And he got out and he asked me very kindly if I would get out of the boat. He mentioned it. He said, Peter, would you mind please getting out to help me? Push the boat back, and I said, certainly, John, it will be my pleasure. And with that, the patrol boat came along and we got a nice little push from them. We managed to push it back in the water, which quite amazed me, and we took off again.
The colourful duo, appropriately named the Super Crocs, between them have more racing experience than any other team in this event. John won New Zealand's first and longest marathon race back in 1976, but hasn't raced seriously since.
Well, it's probably a bit crazy at my age, but Peter and myself sort of talked jet boating again and said, well, why don't we have a go in the marathon? And I said, well, I think I'm a bit old for it. And he said, oh, to hang with it. He said, we'll have a go. He said, we might be able to finish.